Okay, and we are live. Just bear with me again, guys. I just need to change a few settings. There we go, and then join in the Discord. Celtic.
I can't believe you murdered me, Ian. Didn't even murder Wheels.
Let me just do a few bits and bobs. That should be on. Fab. There we go.
What did you expect me to do? Oh man.
Bear with me. Just going to turn my TV down. Just 1 second.
No one's even calling my body. It's just out there on the beach.
Celtic.
You bastard.
What's up, man?
You muted me.
I muted you, did I?
Yeah.
I'm sure I didn't.
Oh, I didn't hit my mute button.
Well, if I muted you, mate, I do apologise.
It's funny. It's alright.
My bad.
Yeah. So right now, Josh, what we're missing in the election is there's 6% missing from Georgia, but from majority of blue sex. There's still 5% missing from North Carolina, but mostly blue sex, and both of those votes are within 80K each.
Wow. It's a close thing then, really.
Pennsylvania has closed the gap all the way to, from, this morning when we were talking, it was 780K.
Yeah.
The gap is now 350K. No, 200.
Wow.
250K. Yep. And there's still 16% of Pennsylvania to count.
Mate, that's...
Honestly, how it looks, from last night, it looked like Biden was only going to win 2 of the 5, which is what all he needs anyway.
Yeah.
Now it's looking like there's a very good chance he wins at least 4, and possibly all 5.
Wow. I mean, he only needs to get 20 more votes. 27 more votes, and he's done it anyway, so...
It's even less than that now because they called Michigan for Biden. He needs 17.
Wow.
And this is without them actually giving him Arizona at the moment. Based on how the election's going right now, if they fully give him Arizona, which he's winning by 100K, he actually jumps to 264.
Wow.
And then he only needs to win 1 of the 4 remaining states.
Yeah.
That haven't called their elections yet.
So
Alaska, Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania have not declared a winner.
And
projected a winner.
And Nevada was looking pretty solid for Biden, wasn't it? Last time I checked.
No, Nevada's the closest race actually. Right
Oh,
now.
really?
Yeah, Nevada's an 8,000 difference in votes, with 86 reporting.
Wow.
Arizona looks firmly in the hands of Biden, which will be the first time since I think 1984 that Arizona votes blue.
Wow.
Georgia is currently with Trump, but will probably flip because of the 6% remaining in Georgia. It's two of the major counties that haven't finished counting their votes are heavy Biden. Like, there's 3 counties that are all like right around the 90% mark.
Yeah.
And they're all heavy Biden that haven't reported. Everything else is like 95% and higher.
Wow.
So he
That's
has
insane.
a pretty good chance to flip Georgia. I don't think he's going to win North Carolina.
I mean, I'm just looking at the minute in North Carolina. There's about 180,000. Yeah, 80,000 difference, isn't there?
Yeah, but if you look through the counties, like if you click onto the map and go into it and look at the counties.
Ah, yeah, it's all red, isn't it?
Yeah, it is all red, but there's a small chance. There's a small chance that it could turn, but I don't think it is. And they haven't even updated their polling since last night at like 2 in the morning.
And there's this whole thing about Michigan as well, which is what Trump's focusing on at the minute, isn't he, with all these legal challenges? But it might not matter at the end of the day. Oh no, sorry, Pennsylvania, not Michigan.
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
it's funny how he's calling for Pennsylvania, and like Pennsylvania even gonna matter to him. He's gonna lose the election before Pennsylvania probably even declares who wins their electoral. Fulton County in Georgia is missing votes, and DeKalb County is also missing votes, and so is Rockdale County. Josh, all three of those are very heavy blue counties, and they're all right next to each other on the outskirts of Atlanta,
Wow.
as well as Cobb County to the left. They're all heavy blue right by Atlanta.
And by the looks of it, there's been no red flips either, has they? It's just been blue
Oh no,
flips at the
nothing
minute.
has flipped red at all since last night.
Mental.
Well, okay, so, and this is what's kind of causing the biggest.
Hi Blade, hi Amber. How you both
Hi
doing?
Jelly. Thanks for popping in, buddy. Have fun playing games. The biggest problem that people have with our election, right?
Yeah.
Is that like the first initial projections showed Trump winning in a landslide, but everybody doesn't realize, based on how all of our districts are set up and how all the counties are set up, is that all the little tiny places that Trump and all Republicans usually win are rural with low populations. So it looks like they win a lot, but they really don't.
Yeah.
And then, you know, because it takes hours and hours and hours and hours and hours for people to actually vote in these big cities, like up to 2, 3, 4, 5 hour waits sometimes to vote.
No worries, Jelly. Thank you for
That's why
dropping in.
the cities don't get put in. That's why.
Hope you're doing really good.
Michigan, and people were pissed on it, like, you know, social media. Oh, Trump was winning by so much in Michigan. And
Yeah.
Curious how they found 130,000 missing ballots for Biden so he could win the state. It's like, no, dude. They literally just finally got caught up counting the Detroit metro area's votes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Detroit metro area alone is like most of the population of Detroit or of Michigan. So when their votes come in, it's landslides back towards it. Like here, I'll
Yeah.
tell you. Like here, if you back out, right, and go to the map.
Yep.
You know what? I'm even gonna bring it up on stream just so we can see it.
Let's have a look on your
so This
stream.
is what happened. This right here, Wayne County in Michigan,
Yeah.
was at 40% this morning, and it was only a couple thousand votes. Now it's at 95%, and then look at the swing, and look at the difference in the votes. It's literally,
Yeah,
so
it's
here's
mental.
Here, let's go back out. So here's Michigan, right? Biden has a 70K lead in Michigan, all because of him making up difference in an actual city. That's the difference. And then everybody's like, oh, it's fraud, it's fraud, it's fraud. It's like, no, that's how our political system actually works.
Yeah.
Like, same thing here. So look at Georgia, right? Georgia looks all red, right? Trump's leading by 70,000 votes. Right here, Fulton County, this is where Atlanta is. This county, and this county are all under 90%. Look at everywhere else. 95, 95, 99, 99, 95, 95. Everywhere else in this entire state is in the 90s, but look at how low the numbers are, right?
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
get to a city, boom, 400,000 people vote. And they're shocked that it takes longer to get the results for these places.
Do you know what? Actually, you're going through it like this actually makes quite a lot of sense to the American system, because if you compare it to what the UK system is, we run first past the post. So if you get the most votes, you get elected in. But actually, looking at how America works and comparing actually between how your districts work, it actually makes a lot of sense because it all looks like a sea of red. But like you say, it's when you really dive down into it and you see what the cities are, and you see, you know, the amount of votes in the city, it makes complete sense.
Like here's a good example, because okay, so last night I saw multiple posts about Virginia, right? And people were annoyed that they were calling the state for Biden, but at the time Trump was winning. It was like 1.7 million for Trump and 1.4 million for Biden at the time, right?
Yeah.
But the difference was Fairfax County, which is right outside of DC, and Arlington County, and you know, all these big, huge counties that are right in here, and all these ones down in here, hadn't been vote counted yet. So as soon as this, especially this one, Fairfax, got counted, look at the tally
Yeah.
now for
Yeah.
Virginia, and then they're like, "Oh man, that's voter fraud." No, that's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
how counting works.
Yeah.
It takes longer to count the higher spots. Like, how dumb is this? That's what I don't understand. Like, people are flipping out about voter fraud. Same thing here. Look, we'll look at Pennsylvania, right? Look at all this red, right? Look at this. Look at the score. Now, last night when these four right here were all in the 30s for reporting, and the gap was 800,000, right?
Yeah.
Now look at the gap. It's only 300,000, and these counties still that are very significantly blue are
Still
only at
counting.
80% counted. Look at Philadelphia. Philadelphia is his biggest stronghold in Pennsylvania. Look at the difference between votes in Philly, which is the major city on the east side of Pennsylvania. Look at the difference,
Jeez.
and look
Yeah,
how
it's
much vote is
massive.
reported. It's 70%.
70%. Yeah.
That means there's still 30% of the vote, which is another. Let's see, how many people have voted right now? 560,000, so 30% of that. So you're looking at around 200 or so thousand more votes. And if Biden continues to win 80% of them, that closes the gap, and just in one county will almost completely close this gap in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't understand.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like the difference between your rural areas of a county, your
Yeah.
rural areas of a state and the city areas of a state. How much political difference there is in them. It just
Tons.
goes to show what the values are between city dwellers and
Yeah, see,
country
that's
dwellers.
why. Here, I'll show you another good example. So there's two states that we have that. So there's two ways you can run our electoral college, right? One way is you can run all or nothing. So 48 out of 50 states run all or nothing. Basically, what that means is if you win the popular vote in your state, you get all the electoral college points.
Mm.
So even like states like this one, where you would think Biden gets 46% of them and Trump gets 52% of the electoral, nope. Even if in a state like Wisconsin, where the difference literally is 22,000
Yeah.
votes, Biden gets all of it,
Yeah.
even though they should split, in my mind. But there's two states, Maine and Nebraska, that are split, that go by the districts. So how our representatives are done is each state gets 2 senators, and each state gets a certain amount of House of Representative people
Yeah.
based on how much population you have. So Maine is a relatively small state, so they only have 2 House of Representative members. Their districts are broken up like this. Here's District 1. It's just like this bottom left-hand corner, like right here. Like these 5 big counties of all blue.
Mm.
Then their District 2 is all of this big stuff.
Right. Okay.
So what happened is, if you look over here, Biden won the popular vote in the state, so he gets the 2 from the senators, and then he won this district, which gives him 3, and then this district was actually won by the Republicans, so Trump gets 1 electoral vote.
Okay.
So this one's a split. Same thing over in Nebraska. Omaha, like the city, which is here, is like this like somewhere in this area. It's like a district of Nebraska. Went blue So he gets 1 out of their 5,
Right. Okay.
and then Trump gets the other 4.
Okay.
And see, honestly, I think this is the system that we should move more towards, so cities don't have so much control, and it would actually make races like California interesting, because if you like bracket it, like if you gerrymander it correctly, you would actually have red states like a district up here winning a couple California Senate or electoral votes,
Mm.
and same thing in places like Texas. It would make the election more interesting and make more people's votes matter. Because honestly, what happens is 9 times out of 10, this is what the map will look like, except for Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Ohio, uh, Florida, Georgia, and there's one more over here. I think Nevada, or maybe Arizona. Arizona's a battleground state for whatever reason, even though it mainly goes red. Um, but like all those are usually like where majority of the campaigning is, because like my state goes blue every year
Mm.
without fail. Like we're blue. It's just what happens.
Maryland.
That is this one. That's where Las Vegas is played with. Um, and then like so Ohio gets a lot of like campaigning. Michigan, Wisconsin, only like these certain like 8 or 9 states matter in that general end of the election,
Sure.
and especially even less for Democrats, because Democrats get like such a significant boost just from 55 in California.
Mm.
Honestly, the election would have just been over if he could have actually flipped Texas. Because if
Yeah.
he flipped Texas, then it's game over. The Republicans very much rely on the 40 guaranteed electoral votes from Texas each year. And that's why they also usually have to win Florida, because Florida's the 3rd biggest
Right. Okay.
by electoral.
And Florida generally goes Republican, doesn't it? Anyway. I mean.
No, it's a swing state. It goes either way depending
Okay.
on which candidate it is.
Okay.
It's very firmly a swing state. Like, so when Obama ran for president, Florida was very firmly blue both
Right.
times.
So
Like,
do you reckon Obama got the like Latino vote from Florida?
yeah, of course. And part of the thing that happened is, so back in 2000, there was actually a tie, and Florida was the deciding state.
Wow.
And eventually they called an end to the recounts right before there. So there's a deadline to where you so each governor, once like your votes are done, each governor has to appoint a electoral panel to go and cast your electoral votes based on what happened in the party. So like Virginia has electoral votes. I don't even know. I'll use a state that I know. So California has 55, right? So the governor of California picks 55 people and sends them to Congress and says, you vote for your, you vote your 55 on Democrat.
Right.
Or like whatever the results are. And there's a deadline that most people don't actually know about, and it's December 6th. That's the cutoff date. That Congress has to accept any panel of voters that is to Congress sent by a governor or electoral. If you're past that date, they can choose to not accept you, and your Congress people can vote. So
Wow.
like, what the situation would become is like, for example, if a normally blue state has a Republican representative, can then vote along party lines and change minor electorals
Mm.
and swing the votes.
How would that go down with the American people though? If you had like a vote which was, say,
Honestly, they
red?
don't even know. They don't even
Wow.
know. Because most people don't even know about our election system to begin with. And here's what usually happens. On election night, which is last night, it's usually pretty positive from the projected what's going to happen, that a candidate usually will just concede. And when they just concede, they don't have to count the votes anymore.
Okay.
And they just, win. And that's just how it goes. They still do the electoral vote, but what people are freaking out about is that it's the day after the election and not all the votes are counted. But the votes are never always counted right now. I mean, look at California. California's still only at 73% of expected vote reporting.
It's crazy, isn't it?
But, like, we know that Biden wins, right? And
73%.
So what happens is, if it's not close like this is, like, 2016, Trump landslide won all of these swing states. All these, so Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Ohio, he won all 7 of them. And he was so far ahead in the projections that Hillary quit, like she conceded on election night. Because there's no hope. Here there's hope. There's gonna be a recount in Wisconsin. It's too close. If it's within 0.5% on the vote, they recount it. Which is why Michigan right now is such a big deal, because it's actually a 1% difference.
Yeah.
And the lead's still growing.
Yeah.
And Georgia will probably end up being a recount unless he can get a good amount of votes. And North Carolina will probably be a recount. And Pennsylvania will probably be a recount. And this is going to drag out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then what's going to happen is what happened in 2000. So what the Supreme Court did in 2000, it basically told Florida to stop counting on December 6th and stop recounting. And it didn't matter anymore. And you send your electoral and they vote. And they voted and Bush won. Even though he lost the popular vote and all that jazz that goes with it.
Right, okay.
But yeah, but that's some of the things that a lot of people don't know. I went to school for this shit, so like I know a lot more about the electoral college and the history of our elections and a lot of shit like that not a lot of people know.
I mean, mate,
Which is what infuriates me.
It's really it's fascinating to talk about and hear, because it is so different to obviously what we're used to in the UK, really. In a way, we should have done a just chatting stream.
Yeah, we could chat while we ghost hunt for all I care.
But yeah,
it's by the way.
I've posted it in the cowed coach, the cowed coach, the code the code coach, the cowed coach. Devon, how are you, buddy? I hope you're doing really well.
EU server, right?
Yes.
There we go.
This is the hardest level I had available.
What's up, Devin?
I'm glad you're doing well, dude.
Andy.
I'm glad you're doing well.
I don't mind explaining anything, like questions that you guys have. Joseph, like this has been Government with Reaper, sponsored by Audible. Yeah, thank you guys for coming to my TED Talk. It
was real interesting, though. That's the thing. It's fascinating to hear someone who's knowledgeable about it.
Yeah.
Rather than me, who doesn't have a blinking clue.
Now, let me ask you a question. So, for you guys.
Yes.
Basically, how Parliament works, your Prime Minister is just your whatever two parties have a chosen leader, right?
Yeah.
That's not voted on. And if your party wins the majority, the party leader becomes prime minister.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Unless
Okay.
if you're a member of the particular party, you can vote on who is a leader, but you need to be a member of that party. Otherwise, it literally is just a case of if, I don't know, Boris Johnson's leader of the Conservatives. If you don't want him to be leader, it's tough shit. If he wins the vote, then he's going to be prime minister. There's nothing you can do about it.
Oh, we didn't bring any good flashlights. Rip. Or EMF readers, unless you have it.
I've got one. Yeah.
Okay. I was like, oh, we are slacking right now.
Crucifix
Basically,
motion smudge.
I think America needs to do like a hybrid system. I think what they need to do is vote similar to how Maine and Nebraska vote,
Yeah.
so the cities have less control.
Yeah.
And then I think instead of having all these bullshit primaries the year before, I think that... Did I not pick up a flashlight?
So what are these
Oh.
primaries like? What are they? What do they determine? Or
Basically what primaries determine are like who's gonna run for the party.
okay.
So it's basically like a vote before the vote,
Fair enough.
where basically, let's say you have like 10 people who want to run for president as a Democrat, right?
Yeah.
You got your Bernie Sanders and Andrew Yang, and you have a couple other people, and then you basically vote between them, and it's like a mini election personally for Democrats to vote who they want to lead their party in the election in the next year.
Okay.
Are you here?
Where I'm in. I'm on the ground floor.
Me too. I was in the kitchen.
I'm not in the kitchen. I'm towards the back.
No, I'm in the kitchen. I'm asking the spirit box.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, the spirit box. I'm asking that first. But like, when somebody is elected, the DNC will push like a certain candidate anyway. Like, they shoved Hillary down our throats in 2016. Like, nobody wanted Hillary to run, and that's why she got blasted
Yeah.
by Trump
Yeah.
in the election, right?
Yeah, it was a landslide.
Yeah, he won like 300 electoral votes or something like that. Which isn't really a landslide in some cases, but like, it was still embarrassing. And they were just so gung-ho for having her. And now they had to pretty much pull Biden out of retirement to run, because that was their only hope of actually winning an election. And honestly, if they really wanted to go blue, they should have made him run in 2016, and he would have landslided everybody.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty sorry state of affairs, isn't it, when you've got to get, like, someone who's pre-dementia to run for president.
I don't know when we get into that. Like, the other thing...
I found a bone, by the way.
Okay, just remember what room it's in, and I'll come back here for pictures. Because I'm gonna get the 5 moneymakers, too. Like... There's a candidate that I'm actually pretty excited for, and not 2024, because I'm pretty sure Kamala Harris is going to run in 2024. But in 2028, there's a guy named Andrew Yang who's like a more like in tune with what's going on in the, you know, not only political landscape. As a younger guy, he also understands like things that our generation likes. So
Yeah.
he's like, you know, he likes video games, he likes, you know, wrestling and all that. Well, he's just like a down-to-earth like person. Like, he seems like normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you and I.
Yeah, like you wouldn't be surprised to run across him in like a game and have a chat. Are you here?
I'm now downstairs. Oh, you're talking. Fuck, I forgot again. Oh, I found the room, by the way. I've got 7.5.
Alright, is it downstairs or upstairs?
Yeah, downstairs.
Alright.
What? It's in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's one of the things that like, makes no sense. I think we should like and split the party vote along the lines of like how Vermont and all them do, or how Maine and
Yeah.
which room is it?
Kitchen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was in the kitchen already.
Sanity is pretty low. We're in the 60s, low 60s.
Yuri.
I'm gonna bring
Are you here?
a
You
camera.
got spirit box.
Sweet spirit box. Should I bring a crucifix? In fact, I'm gonna bring UV. Don't know if I need UV. And the video camera.
Can you write in this book? I'm gonna leave him to write in the book. We'll get a camera. Hi Azu. It's no good. We're talking election politics in a normal, civilized manner while we calmly hunt ghosts. I just explained how the American election system works to those who are not American and or don't understand it, and why certain states split votes while others are all or nothing. It was a fun conversation.
It was really interesting, to be fair. It's gave a really good insight into the American politics system. No, it's played, not a problem. Thank you for being here, man.
The other day, too. She's like not really sure about it. Oh, the cleaver's not here anymore. I wonder if they changed it to a random spawn now. Like the ones that were
Oh,
moneymakers
ghost
on
orbs.
this map, I think they're random now. Move it to bone.
Yeah, we have Ghost Orb. Poltergeist, Gin or Mare. So, we need freezing temps, EMF 5, or fingerprints.
Oh, I should have grabbed the UV light. I didn't even think
There's one in the corridor. That I've just dropped, that's in there.
I know there was a
Crucifix motion. Crucifix motion.
Oh, what's our challenges besides figuring out what the ghost is?
There's one, prevent it from hunting you using a crucifix, motion sensor, and then cleanse the area using smudge sticks. So I'm going to bring a motion sensor in. Activity is peaking a little bit. It's now dropped to 0 again. Blade, that's not a problem. I could do with investing in a wireless headset, I think. So I'm going to put...
I used as a wireless headset.
I'm wired to my controller, unfortunately.
I like to rock. I traded in my PS4 a while back when they announced that MLB The Show was gonna come to Xbox.
Oh, you fucking bastard!
What?
Oh, fuck.
Nope. I don't have to get a picture of it, right?
Not as far as I'm aware.
I'm gonna stay away from the door though. I've been killed through walls too much. Yeah, remind me when we get actually back to the menu to actually throw strong flashlights in there, so you know we can actually see.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try and remind you.
I think I already have some bought. I just have to actually put them.
I know I did quite a lot, but I only have one strong flashlight, unfortunately.
I got tons of money in this game because I'm usually paid.
Okay, hunt is over. May I suggest the Arctis Pro Wireless? It's almost 300 quid, what? But it's extremely reliable headset. £300, dude, that's a lot of money. What else do I have? A crucifix. So we didn't prevent a hunt that time. I'm wondering where it spawned. It did whisper in my ear. Shall I put the crucifix around here, centre of the room? I do have another one, so I can put it around the other side of the counter if that'll help.
Here, we can do this. We can. Where are you? Are you here?
Behind. I'll go grab the other
It's right here.
crucifix.
Alright. So is where he spawns for this like where he'll actually spawn for a hunt? Is it spawn point?
Do you know what? That's a really good question. I'm not exactly sure.
You know what? I'm gonna put this crucifix where I just got it.
Okay, where do you want me to put this other crucifix?
Probably.
Oh, you bastard. It's near. I just heard heartbeats.
Yeah, no, he's spawning on this side of the room over here, like in this corner by the gas and by the range.
Okay, well if I
So
put it
I put one there.
here.
If you want to put one like farther back in the corner by the table, maybe.
Oh, I've seen him. He's there. He's right on that crucifix.
Yeah, I think that's gonna work. He's not thrilled. Oh, we got it. Prevent ghost hunting from.
Brilliant.
So.
Shoot a grey wireless headset, no latency. From what I've noticed in the twos I've used it. I mean, dude, that sounds. I was going to mute you 1 second. That sounds ace. That, to be fair, I mean, it is a lot of money. But wow. Yo, fantastic, Mr. Sam. Thank you so much for the raid, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate that. How are you doing? How was your stream? I hope you had a good one. Yeah, welcome everybody. For those that don't know me, I'm Ledge Plays. I'm a variety streamer. I stream all sorts of games really. Currently playing Phasmo with a good buddy of mine, Celtic. But yeah, welcome. Thank you so much for the raid. I really do appreciate it.
Credit for this much.
Do you know what, Celtic? I'm not even sure. I've just brought one myself.
I did it over by the crucifix that stopped him, so I'm gonna assume that's his area. Alright, so what do we need then?
I think that could be everything, you know. Let's go and have a look.
Wait, where'd you say the... Oh, here's the light.
No problem, man. Hope you're having a good evening. I am. I'm having a really good evening. Thank you so much. And like I said, I really appreciate the raid. How was your stream, buddy? What were you playing? But no, thank you. I really appreciate you dropping by, man. Really, really appreciate it. That's all of our objectives, by the way. We just need to discover what it is. So, what would you say? It's either a poltergeist, a djinn, or a mare, isn't it? Let's have a look.
Seems like he just shut the door.
Poltergeist, djinn, or mare. So we don't have freezing temps. We've not had EMF 5, have we? Even when he's spawned, or have we had EMF 5? So then we just need fingerprints, and if it's a poltergeist. No problem, mate. Having a good evening. It was fun. We were playing some Raft, just messing around really. This is one of those games I'm happy to watch, but probably never play. I wish I was just watching it, to be honest with you, but no, I must play. Oh, we're hunting. Oh, Celtic, no, don't die. Are you actually dead?
No, I think I actually saved myself.
You're on 0% sanity though, mate, so I'd come get some
Yeah, I'll come get some pills.
pills. In fact, I'm just going to take some while I think.
Keep hunting me while I'm trying to figure out this last step. Oh, okay. It's whatever one goes through walls.
Okay, so that would be a djinn. No, it won't. Oh, I don't actually know. Travel at significant speed.
He literally just came through the wall and killed me.
Oh, dude. I'm sorry that he did. I'll come and get a picture of your body. So I know a gym will travel faster speed if its victim is far away.
I mean, he definitely closed that distance pretty quick.
So we're
But I don't
thinking
think it's a
gym.
gin because he's not been too territorial. I will say this one started to hunt as soon as I turn off the lights. We're not getting freezing temp for it to be in
No.
here.
I need to get myself to sleep. I hope you have a good stream. No worries, Mr. Sam. I really do appreciate you being here. And thank you so much for the raid.
Straight up.
I really do appreciate it. Have a good night. And again, thank you so much.
He's been throwing shit around since the
So-
very beginning of the round.
So we're thinking poltergeist then.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean poltergeist.
So where did you die?
In the side room.
Side room?
Honestly, you don't even need to get a picture of me because I didn't have anything brought for insurance.
Okay, we didn't get the bone upstairs, or did we?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did? Okay, so I don't need to be in here then, do I?
No. Yeah, I got the bone, I got a picture of the axe, the voodoo doll, I got a picture of the ghost. And an achievement. Hunter, man.
So, throwing things, it must be a poltergeist then.
It has to be, because, like, honestly, when I first walked into the kitchen, after you said it was in the kitchen, I saw it throw, like, 3 cans, like, back to back to back.
Okay.
And that would make sense, because it instills fear, which lowers your sanity if it's low, like, as you witness it throwing shit.
Yeah.
And I think that's why my sanity dropped so fast.
Okay.
Because I saw all those throws. It could be one of the other two, but I'm almost confident.
Well, we'll go with poltergeist and we'll see what it does. If it's not, I'm blaming you. I don't think it was. It was a gin.
Was it a gin?
Yeah. Never mind.
The evidence just did not show gin.
And what did we need for gin? Was it EMF 5?
Yeah. The EMF never even went off. Ever.
I'm thinking it's a little bit buggy, this game. I know it's like a pre-build, like a pre-release. It's still not the finished thing.
Yeah, of course. I'm not too disappointed with what happened. I mean, you're wrong, but like based on the activity of the ghost and what it did, it would have had to be either a banshee that can walk through walls, which wasn't an option because of the 2 things that we had.
Yeah.
A poltergeist based on how much it was throwing,
Yeah.
and because it only hunted twice, and I was in that room forever. That was not a territorial djinn at all. I guess he did spawn 3 times though. In that room.
Yeah,
though,
he
but
did,
That,
to be
that
fair,
probably
didn't
should
he?
have been the tip.
Never mind. There's next time. By the way, I hate Asylum. I really dislike the map. But it's the only one I had for professional. So,
That's fair. Honestly, if you want, we could do a quick run of Asylum, just get the evidence for the ghost and get out.
yeah, I mean, that's good for me.
Because honestly, professional just figuring out what the ghost is probably going to be still a decent chunk of money. It's not like we ever find the bone on this map anyway.
No, that's
I think
true.
we've never played Asylum. Nobody ever wants to play Asylum.
I'm not surprised. Early access is good, and no amount of scammers abusing the early access will convince me otherwise. Yeah, early access is good, to be fair, Blade. It is good. But you know what?
It's like,
Say it's not a complete game, it still is really good. Really, really good.
the gap in Georgia is just like slowly closing.
Really. So, are you hoping for the Biden victory? Or are you ambivalent? Or are you Trump? Just out of interest.
I'm ambivalent, to be honest. I don't care if Trump wins, I don't care if Biden wins. I think there's benefits and negatives to each choice,
Yeah.
and them winning both negatively and like both candidates have their bright spots for what they can bring to the table.
Yeah.
And both have their negative spots. Like, I don't know. I know as much as Trump is a shitty businessman, he pulls weight with the economy.
Yeah.
And then, on top of that, I think Biden will have one because he's already built relationships with a lot of the foreign diplomats. I think his foreign policy will be much better.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there. I mean, the reporting in the UK has been, no matter who wins the presidency, that there needs to be a reset between US-UK diplomatic relationships. Because almost kind of there's been no benefit for the UK especially.
No, I agree. I will also say that as a for environmental reasons, Biden would 100% be the better choice.
Yeah.
I think we should just stick together on
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think if you're in the military or that way inclined, Trump is your best option. 'Cause I definitely think you'll get a bigger military budget with Trump. Is just my guess, based on no facts whatsoever.
What was that? What was that, Ledge?
No, sorry, I was just saying that I think if you're in the military or supporting the military or whatever, I'm not saying no, you don't support the military, but I think Trump's a better choice for military, because I definitely think you'll get a bigger military budget.
Because Republicans favor military spending.
Yeah.
That's what I mentioned this morning. Like, for those who either work for the government and or are in the armed forces, you 100% want a red victory just for job security reasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Laidwolf says, today I learned that Trump is actually planning to sue Pennsylvania and Michigan to halt vote counting until courts can enforce rules that permit campaign observers to watch the ballots being opened and counted. See, that already happens. There is representatives on the floor of where votes are being counted for both sides, watching the votes being counted. That's why this isn't fraudulent. He's just pissed because city votes take longer to count and therefore come in way later than his royal votes that he gets.
He's also a petty little child.
Well, that, and he's a petty little man child. But, like, it's not fraudulent. Like, I explain this to people as much as I can without trying to be an asshole or coming off as, like, condescending. But that's just how our election always works. Our election always works that, oh, Republicans are running away with a landslide, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. And then slowly but surely they start counting those millions of city votes, and then all of a sudden all the swing states get real close.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense.
And people start screaming about vote fraud.
The
whole fucking thing.
Because Trump tweeted, didn't he? Last night or this morning.
Yeah, he tweeted that he already won, and he also announced to his followers that in his mind they already won.
Yeah, he said that, but then he said something about how do all of a sudden something like all these new votes come from somewhere?
Yeah,
and
there was another thing that he was saying. He's like, oh, I don't want to have them find 400,000. Did you go downstairs?
No, I'm still upstairs.
He said that, oh, how we don't want to have any people finding 400,000 votes that helping win an election.
Yeah.
Like, so you're trying to literally suppress
Yep.
enact voter suppression is what you're trying to do by calling the election right now. Like, and people wonder why, a lot of people are worried that he's gonna try to become a dictator if he wins.
Yeah, exactly.
And he tries to go for an extra years after his 8 are up.
Is it only 2 terms you can run for?
Yeah. No, you can run for as many terms as you want, but you can only win 2 total.
Right, okay.
So, like, you could run 4 times, and then you're done. If you win 2 of those 4.
Right,
So, like,
fair enough.
technically, if Trump loses this election, he can very much run in 2024.
Ugh.
His lead doesn't seem likely.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
You never know with Trump. And Blades. Oh, this door's already open. -11. Yeah, it's in here. Freezing temps. Oh shit. Yeah, Blades just said apparently Trump has been quite disrespectful towards the military. I can't even pick it up. EMF 2. Yeah.
This one was not alone. Are you here? Are you here?
I need to remember the way. Away.
Okay, we got,
So we've got freezing temps and we've got a spirit box.
this is a demon.
How are you so sure? Yeah, so apparently he said he's insulted and disparaged military vets to their faces, apparently. Thank you for the follow, Raztastic. I really do appreciate it. How you doing? What'd you say, sorry, Celtic?
Andy Hawk says it would be unlikely that the Republicans would run someone who lost a general election. Well, technically, he lost the popular vote last year, so, or last election. So what does it matter?
Doing well. How's the stream?
He's gonna lose the popular vote again anyway.
It's going well, thanks, Raz. We're having a really interesting discussion regarding American politics. I'm not American. I'm British, but I am streaming with an American. It's really interesting to hear their opinions on politics.
Right in the book.
Especially like we say, American politics.
Do it
So we're having a really good stream actually,
Yeah,
and Blade's quite
we just turned the lights on.
knowledgeable as well about it. So we're having quite a good debate. I'm still trying to find the way out, to be honest with you, Celtic. I still don't know where I'm going. I'm trying.
That up to 10 thing isn't true anymore. It depends on when. So Blade Wolf said a person can legally serve 8 years as president, up to 10 if one of your terms is due to being upgraded from vice president during another's term. That only applies depending on when you would get upgraded. So like if the rumors are true and they're gonna try to replace Biden. With Kamala Harris after a year due to his dementia diagnosis that's apparently real. Yeah. If they do it before the first 2 years are up, she can only get one additional term.
That's really interesting.
Like, so depending on how they do it, like if she serves 2 years of it, it would just work that way.
Okay, so you're saying demon, Celtic.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to write in the book, but it's not doing it. So we might need a...
Okay, so it could have Wraith, Mare, or Demon. So for the Mare, we'd need Ghost Orbs. For the Wraith, we would need Fingerprints. And obviously Demon would need the Ghost Writing. So, let me bring a camera. Where did I just put that camera? I've just lost a camera somehow. Oh, it's there, never mind.
Can you write in this book?
And the UV light. Oh, don't need the crucifix yet.
Can you write in this book?
So let's go have a look. Yeah, but Raz, how's your day been, buddy? Hope it's been good. Like Blade, how's your day been as well? Hope you've had a good day. I have to say, I've had a really good day today. Had a nearly a 3.5 hour stream early playing Far Cry.
Nice.
Had so much fun.
People around, or people who are at least willing to talk about it and not be completely like biased and obtuse about it.
Nah, at the end of the day, you can only have a debate or discussion about something if you're willing to learn at the same time. Like, there's no point being obtuse about something when I, for one, don't know the
Here's
facts.
the light, so if you Did you happen to bring in a UV?
I have got UV, yeah.
Alright, cool. We can check this light switch.
Oh, bollocks.
Oh, no. I'm probably gonna die here. Come on, dude. They came through the wall again.
Oh, did you die?
Yeah, he came through the wall again. I shut the door, I heard it click, and I'm still fucking dead.
Oh, bollocks. Well, I don't really want to spend any more time in here.
Well, alright, all I need you to do is just go check, so he's definitely not writing in the book. I can tell you that straight up. He's not writing in the book. He just won't. So, just come into the room and check the light switch for orbs, or for fingerprints. There's no fingerprints, and then double check the book, make sure that there's nothing written in it. You're probably gonna, and it'll be pretty
Oh, he's fucking with
obvious which one
things.
it is. Yeah, he's not writing anything in this book.
We do have fingerprints. We do.
Yeah, see, that's what I figured. Alright, so we put fingerprints, Wraith, and we get the hell out of here. Is Wraith the one that could walk through walls?
I can't remember. I'm trying to remember my way out. I can't remember which way's out.
Yeah, okay. See, now I'm not upset about getting killed by that one, because it literally can actually travel through walls.
Fair enough.
Yeah, as soon as he came through the wall, I knew it either had to be a Wraith or a mare. The demons usually don't so much walk behind walls. It just sucks because like I had the perfect thing. All I needed to do was UV that light, and we were gonna eliminate everything, and we would have been good to go and gotten the hell out of here. And set.
Well, hopefully I can find the exit again.
It's whatever. I only brought two strong flashlights, which shit.
Right, so there's the exit. Let's just try and get out of here as quick as I can. There we go. Phew. Right, so we're saying it's a Wraith, aren't we?
Yeah, it's Wraith for sure. So, normally the reason I said it was demon at the beginning was because with how that worked is that demons usually present their signs very quickly.
Sure.
And we got signs very quickly. Ooh.
I'm doing well, just loading my new Stellaris save file. Nice.
The Associated Press.
By the way, we can't see her
listed
face.
As 264 for Biden and 214 for Trump, but that's with 4 states that are unaccounted for. That's
Wow.
Nevada. So Nevada is tentative towards Biden, but Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, and Nevada have not officially closed.
Right, okay.
Michigan is pretty firmly won by Biden with a 70,000 vote lead, and there's a 20,000 vote lead in Wisconsin, which is pretty decent. And there's enough distance between Biden and Trump in Michigan that it is outside of the 1%. So basically most states have a automatic recount if it's within 0.5%.
Right, okay.
And if it's over that, you have to call for a recount. But if it's over 1%, they can reject your claim for a thing. So like
For a recount. Yeah, that makes sense.
Michigan's
Is that any better, Blade?
5% right now in favor of Biden. If they really don't want to drag this out, they can straight up reject Trump's claim for a recount in Michigan. Which means Michigan firmly stays in the hands of Biden.
Do you think that's likely?
Michigan rejecting his.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's going to cost them money and time to tie this up into the court system, and it has to all be rushed because it has to be
Done by December 6th.
Yeah, it has to be done by December 6th to get everybody's electoral votes
Sure.
in Congress. So it's very time sensitive in what's going to happen. The voter turnout is very impressive this year, though.
It's like among the highest ever, isn't it?
It's probably definitely the highest ever now. At current standing, Trump has 68 million votes, which is about 5 million more than he had last year.
Wow.
Or last election, and Biden is at 71.1 million.
Wow.
And that is about 5 million more than what.
I wish people like me that much. By the way, I can't play with this mask on. I've got no light on in the bedroom, so I'll put my mask on, but I genuinely can't see anything, so I'm going to have to take it off. There we go, that's off. Let me just turn the light on. Alexa,
go straight upstairs.
bedroom light's 1%.
Bottom, and I'm going to start upstairs.
Right, let's go back in. Did you say you're closing doors?
No, I'm opening doors upstairs.
Ah, cool.
I just said I was going to start upstairs while you start downstairs. Maybe, like, I can run across some freezing breath or something.
Oh, I've got... Right, it's in the kitchen. 5.7.
Alright, we'll still look for a music board.
Definitely in the kitchen. Oh, wow, I love that. I'm glad you liked it. It hurts my eyes though quite a lot, Blade. Yeah, did you see that mask that I wore on my Halloween stream?
We are talking about the American election. Yeah, it's about a third of our population, but only 240 million people are even able to vote.
Is that all that's registered to vote?
Yes, because our population's around 330 million, but there's kids,
Yeah.
convicts,
Oh, I see.
who aren't able to vote.
You know what though? I'd have assumed that the population of the United States of America would be significantly higher than 300 and however many million.
Yeah, 330 million.
Like that sounds low to me.
No. We have a lot of very rural areas, like in the Midwest of our country, that have like nobody.
Fair enough.
Like there are states that are massive that have about 100,000, like a couple 100,000 people in there.
Wow.
That's it. Like, it is what it is.
I mean, America is that massive. I suppose it's more than possible. Whereas you think about the UK, like, there's literally no room in the UK for much more expansion. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. Now the projected amount of people, Andrew, for this year's election was around 240 million registered and able to vote. And about 130 million of them so far have been have voted, with I think another at least 15 to 20 million votes still being counted, because I think there's still 80. I think it's at 88% counted right now.
yeah, there's
About 12% of the vote. Are you here?
I'm just about to come back in now with the motion sensor.
You talking to the spirit box.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Are you here? Are you here? Alright, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get nothing on the spirit box this time.
Oh, we've got freezing temps though. Is that? Do we just get freezing temps? Yeah, freezing temps. And dirty water. Right, I'm gonna go get a camera.
If you want, I'll do the camera. I'm gonna
Okay.
look and I'll go take the camera and get pictures of like all the money makers and all that shit.
Perfect. Yeah, let you
And
do
I know
that.
where all the spawns are. And I know where the bone is.
Perfect. Right, let's add freezing temps. That's our first bit of evidence.
I didn't see my breath though.
Did you not?
Can you just yeah, can you double check that one? when
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get back?
I'll go double check, but I'm pretty confident that I saw my own breath trail.
Alright, I'm just gonna take both of these cameras and go while you do your thing with the ghost, and I'll make us some money.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah, that's kind of our issues that we have.
Stephen Taylor.
And that's our
Is its
wonderful
name.
political system in a nutshell.
But you make it sound so simple.
It is simple. The thing that happens with it is, so there's a very strong sect in our government. Like, so you only learn about the electoral college. Oh no, it's very simple actually, Jack. Like, I literally explained it like 15 minutes ago. It's actually really simple. Just people just don't understand it because it doesn't make sense to them. Basically, how our system works
Yeah.
is where's the dirty sink water at?
Minus temperatures.
Okay,
Or-
now I see the minus temperatures. Where's the dirty sink water at?
I don't know. I heard the water running.
Over here?
Yeah, it could be actually.
Here.
Where
Yeah, it's right here.
where are you? How old are you?
Spirit box.
I think you need to be
Let's do
alone.
that
To be
again.
fair.
So, alright, how the electoral...
How old are you?
The reason that we don't elect based on
How old are you?
is because of certain
Where are
states
you?
have such an insanely high population
Can you write in the book?
that are would control the entire election.
How old
Or
are
at
you?
least the vast majority of it. So, for example, California only gets 55 of the 535 available electoral votes. 53 of those are based on population, and then 2 of those are based on the normal 2 senator seats that every state gets. And then how it works, also I'm trying to multitask. Let me go hide behind that toilet where the ghost can't kill me. You don't even have to win 100% of 8 states. You could literally win. Right. So you could literally just win California,
Where are you?
New York, Texas, Florida, Pennsylvania, and
Stephen Taylor,
if you
where
have
are
those
you?
5 states, you win the election no matter what.
Where are you?
He's not gonna answer that spirit box. I don't think he's a spirit box one.
Oh, bollocks.
Alright, I'm in the good spot behind the toilet, so bring it on, motherfucker.
Fuck! Oh no, I'm dead.
Are you?
No, not yet. Nearly. Sorry about that little jump.
Up chair. Well, currently I'm hiding behind the toilet because we're talking about the election stuff.
Oh my fuck. That made me jump big time.
You are winning the people in the state, Jack. Thanks for the follow, chair. I appreciate it, buddy. So, how the electoral college works is there's 2 states that do a by district voting, and those are Nebraska and Maine, and basically they have wherever their representatives are in the House, which is based off of population, are split into districts that can split their vote between the three of them, and then the popular vote for that state goes to the Senate votes from the Electoral College. But basically what the Electoral College is 100 votes from the Senate representatives, which is 2 per state, and then there is a the other 435 are based on population, with bigger states like California, Texas, Florida, Pennsylvania, New York all getting more electoral votes than smaller states like Rhode Island and Delaware, etc., etc., etc. So basically, winning electoral votes in every state but Maine and Nebraska is all or nothing. And if you win a state, you win all of their electoral votes, which is both the population and the 2 guaranteed from the Senate.
Oh shit.
I'm guessing Reaper's looking at this right now too.
Looking at what?
The electoral results right now.
No, I'm just talking about it.
Oh, yeah. Looks like Biden might have this in the bag, but it puts us in the same spot it was 4 years ago.
Not really.
It puts us in the same bind as the last election. Trump was down by a lot and still got the vote.
No, he lost a popular vote, but he won every single swing state.
He had 215 and Clinton had 274.
Yeah, but that's because they called a state that wasn't correct. Right now they're not doing that. Because if Clinton actually had 274, then Trump would have conceded and the election would have been over. Unless you were just looking at projected. So
I don't know. I just like talking about it. I don't care enough, but I like talking about it, so.
I've been talking about it my whole stream. Jack says,
nice.
I think the main thing that just makes no sense is that the majority of the population could vote for one candidate and that person could still lose. Well, here.
The electoral, you were
Yeah,
talking about this,
see,
how
here,
they
I'll
kind
show
of,
you.
they don't go to the right person. Like
I'll show you why.
even though the highest vote goes to one person, the people who
Alright.
are actually giving the votes can
So-
go to the opposite side.
I feel like I want to look at Celtic Stream right now. Here we go. I'm looking at Celtic Stream.
Jack, you see the difference right now on this site is 70 million to 67 million, right? Yeah, no, it's not updated. Here, I can refresh it. I'm just
Right now it's looking like 71 million to 68 million.
Yeah, ABC is a little bit behind everybody else, but I'm just using this as an example.
Yeah, I'm
But,
on
okay.
Fox.
So you see the difference between the two candidates, though, right? Jack, is about 3 million. That 3 million literally resides in one state. That's the difference. The difference in this popular vote is California.
Fact.
That's the problem. That's why our election system is based on this. Because, so, they don't want one singular state or, like, the big cities to control all of America's politics.
They
Because-
don't want to, but it happens.
Put it this way. If it only went by popular vote in America, Democrats would have won 7 of the last 8 elections.
Fact.
And because of how, so you gotta think, Jack, that each one of our states is like a country in Europe. Yes, we're all part of the United States, but each state is its own individual entity.
Yep.
That has its own different set of politics, which is why you can't. It's pretty much think of the United States as like something as like big as the EU, right? So like California has their input, and they get some votes, and each state has their own votes towards the general goal of for
I'll be right back.
what am I trying to put towards the common goal for the United States. There's no constitution or federal level law against faithless electors. Electoral college electors who vote for the opposite side vote over half of the states have state level. It's not locked in, Chair, because there's still 14% missing, and he's only up by 100K. That's why. Same reason why, honestly, he's gonna end up winning Georgia, because if you go into Georgia and look at the 3 counties that are missing the rest of the remaining votes for Georgia, they're all blue and they're all huge counties, and he's gonna get a lot of votes from there. Same reason. Honestly, Wisconsin shouldn't even be locked for blue, because it's a 21,000 difference, and this is gonna cause a recount, 100%. And yes, Blade, you're correct. There is no federal law for electoral switching sides, but the governor who picks the electoral panel for each state basically controls their life at that point. If they mess up and don't vote along with the state's decision, it's gonna go very poorly. No, so Jack, yes and no. Basically, the difference is something like California. You have to picture California as like its own country, right? In terms of like how our election works. So like you would picture California as like Germany, going towards a general union at the end. Like, because so California is mainly liberal, right?
California's extremely liberal.
The country would not want one state controlling the difference between an election, which California would do if you go by popular vote. Because literally the difference between the entire vote right now is the difference between California, between the 2 candidates.
So, Celtic, I'm just interested. I know Blade just mentioned something about New York. Like, how many votes does New York State actually have control of? Does that make sense? Because in comparison to some states, it's relatively small.
9, I believe.
Because that's quite a lot from a relatively small state, so it must be quite densely populated.
New York is not a small state.
I mean, I'm just looking at it here on this map here.
New York's
Obviously,
right here.
it's north
This is
of
New York.
Pennsylvania, isn't it? Your stream's
Yeah, it's
lagging for me a little bit. I'm a little bit behind.
Right here. This is New York.
Yeah.
It's all of this huge chunk.
Yeah, but when you compare it to somewhere like, I don't know, Montana or Utah, I mean, it's probably the same size as Utah, to be fair.
Yeah, but look at how many people have voted in New York, right?
Let's
You're
have a
looking
look.
at about 8 million votes almost.
Yep.
Right?
Uh-huh.
But look at Montana. It's because of population. So remember, how our electoral votes work is
Yeah, makes
every
sense.
single state gets 2 for the Senate,
Mm-hmm.
because that's how the Senate works. Each state's population determines the size of its representatives in the House.
Yeah.
So there's 435 seats, right? And based on how population changes, like so if like a mass exodus of people go from Oregon to Nevada, Oregon's population, like House of Representatives seats, will go down, and Nevada's will go up. That makes sense?
Yeah, makes
Like-
sense. I mean, that's what I was just saying, though. I mean, for somewhere that is comparatively small as a state, when you compare it to like Texas and Montana and even Florida, for instance, like the amount of votes it has
again-
must mean it's densely populated, which is
Yeah,
what.
so Florida has 29 electoral votes as well,
Mm-hmm.
and they have about 10.8 million people who voted this year.
Yeah.
compared to, look at all 5 of these like massive states you're talking about out here. It's barely 2 million people combined for all 5 of these states. Most people in America are congregated from New York down to Florida on the East Coast. This like Rust Belt section of Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, like this upper area right here, and then this lower area down here.
Mm-hmm.
That's where all the population is densely located. Everything from like here, like so all of these, like this circle of states is not very populated.
Yeah.
Like North Dakota and South Dakota have like low population. So
Yeah, you can see there, yeah.
And that's why it's set up the way it is.
No,
So,
makes sense.
A lot of so back when the Electoral College was created, is the same thing. Basically, they didn't want, or the rural areas like, you know, Alabama, South Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi. This is back way back. Tennessee, all these little tiny states that didn't have a lot of people back then wanted equal representation in the Congress.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what came up with how they came up with the Senate. Everybody gets 2, then the House is based on your population.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So it still gives California some weight when it comes to the table, but it can't literally overrule everyone. That too. So Blade Wolf says the Electoral College also has another reason for being created, is that when America started, it would take weeks for news to travel, get around. Yeah, so basically it's the same thing as now. It used to actually be the senators and the House of and the representatives that actually casted the electoral votes. Now it's an electoral panel selected, handpicked by the governors of each state that cast the vote at Congress on December 14th.
Yeah, I mean,
they have to be at Congress by December 6th.
Okay. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, that, to be fair. I mean, I used to think that American politics was was really confusing, but actually when you go through it, it's quite simple, really.
Yes and no. It just depends on what information you want to learn and what information you think you're gonna understand.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it sounds like it's really easy to follow. Like, a lot of people don't know how all... Oh, shit. That's not good.
Have you just gone back inside?
Yeah. I literally just walked inside. I started hunting.
Right, it's just moved from the kitchen. It's just activated the motion sensor.
The room that I'm in. I don't know how I actually made it to a room. But, Oh, are you kidding me with this shit again? I'm dead. Walk through the door.
Dude. We've got shit-hole evidence as well.
We got freezing temps. I'm so pissed. Like, dude, that's the 3rd time today I've literally been killed by something walking through a door that they shouldn't be able to walk through.
Okay, so if it walks through a door, it could be a banshee, couldn't it?
Could be. But remember, the first one that killed me wasn't a banshee and it walked through a door. So what the hell do I know?
Revenant. Shade. So is it Yuri that goes? No, Yuri's for the
Oh no, it's not a banshee. It would be it was a wraith.
A wraith. Well, wraith's one of the options.
Walk through doors.
Oh yeah, I think it's probably a wraith. And if it's gone through another door.
You're not getting any spirit box. So I don't think it's gonna be a race.
But have we used it in the right place? Because normally when you're not going to get spirit box, in my experience
Yeah.
anyway, it says nothing
If it
nothing
says-
found or
If it
something.
says nothing found, that means that it's not gonna give it to you.
But it didn't say that when I was talking to it.
It did for me when I first walked.
Oh,
in.
did it? Okay.
I mean, if you want to keep trying, go for it. I'm dead, so it doesn't matter to me.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Hey, ghost, you're a bitch.
Fuck. Right, well, here goes. I don't know why I play this game. First past the post. Let's turn the circuit breaker back on. Yeah. How old are you? How old are you?
Thank you for the sub, Becky.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing there. We're not going to get that.
Appreciate it. Love those toxic emotes, just saying. Such as job support.
I really don't know what else we can find. 'Cause we're not going to get Spirit Box. We've not had any ghost writing. There's no ghost orbs. There's been nothing on EMF. Even when it was hunting, we had nothing on EMF. I mean, the only reason I'm leaning towards a Wraith is because of the travelling through walls.
Okay, yeah, Blade, I read all of those, and I completely agree, and that's why I like the Electoral College. The only thing that I wish that was a little different is that it was consistent. So either all 50 states vote like Nebraska and Maine do, where it would actually, I think, make the votes worth a little bit more, because you would be voting, and electoral votes would be decided based on how your district votes. While I also think we should adopt a similar practice to what Canada and the UK use, where the parties vote on their leader, and when whoever wins the majority of the
Screw it.
Congress, the set leader becomes president. Those are two options that I see. Is
Bollocks, it wasn't a Wraith.
I didn't even guess. I thought you were gonna try to get more evidence.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, see, I was right. I said Banshee. Damn you.
Hey.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, Chair, I'm pretty positive that Georgia will flip, because if you look at how...
We're back on Celtic Stream.
If you bring this back up, I know this again isn't the updated version, but these three counties are all blue, and these are the only ones that have votes that are unaccounted for. So he should swing Georgia blue. Which means if you do...
I mean, there's not even... There's about 60,000 votes in it now in Georgia.
So, for example, if you bring this up, so this is how the current election looks, right? Because I've been tracking it. Even if Trump wins Pennsylvania and wins North Carolina, if he does flip this, there's no contest, even if he can flip Nevada too. This is what the score would be, based on the current results and what I expect will happen based on projections. Is that when it came down to it, as of last night, So as of last night, this is what it looked like. Had these set like this. Even if Trump wins here, Biden only needs to win 2 of these 4, I think. It's like if he wins here and wins here, he's at 270 already. It doesn't matter what even happens in these other states. He only has to win 2. So, in the end, no, you're good, Blade. I appreciate the interactivity. To be honest, it brings a lot to the chat that we're kind of having at the same time. Yeah, he's gonna end up winning Arizona. I don't think he's gonna win North Carolina. This one's Pennsylvania's still very firmly up in the air, but as it stands right now, this is kind of what it looks like, with pretty much 3 undecided. 3 undecided states, but we'll know the president before Pennsylvania finishes. Because if Biden can flip Georgia, Pennsylvania doesn't even matter. And we won't have to wait till the end of the week. The only problem that's going to happen is if Trump tries to drag it out, but with the margin of victory in Michigan, Michigan's not going to recount, I think, because it's over 1.5% difference, while Wisconsin is close. But if he flips here, Wisconsin now no longer matters for him to win. Because he flipped Michigan and flips Georgia, these 3 states don't actually matter.
I mean, in Michigan, it's only 1.3% the difference at the minute.
I know, but it's over 1%, so it doesn't trigger the recount.
Oh,
he can
sweet.
Ignore his request of a recount.
Fair enough.
Same thing with whatever happens in Pennsylvania. Ideally, what would be nice for the country is that just one of them wins all 5 of these and it landslides it. We don't have to deal with whatever outcome court system fighting that we're going to have. Because if this happens, like if all of this happens, there's no way he can combat this. If that happens. But that counts on Pennsylvania's turning blue, Wisconsin staying blue, Georgia flipping blue, and Nevada staying blue.
Yeah.
So in certain states, there is a recount. There's an automatic recount if the difference is 0.5%. So, for example, here in Wisconsin, the difference is only 20,000 votes. It's less than 0.5%. They're actually technically tied in percentage. This triggers an automatic recount. Now, if you go over to a state like Michigan and go in depth, you get 50% and 49%. It's like 50% and like change. So it's over 1. Over 1%, it doesn't trigger a recount, and you can request one. But over a 1% gap, the state itself can refuse his request of a recount and say the decision is final. If it's between 0.5 and 1, they have to actually take and recount and accept his recount request. But because this is over 1% difference, and there's still missing votes in the highest Democrat county, it's very likely that he'll have a very distanced win in Michigan, and there will be no recount in Michigan. So based on the maps, the only 2 states that I'll probably have to recount are Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. And if it's Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, if he flips Georgia before then it doesn't matter at all. Like, dead steal. That's the 270 he needs no matter what. Even if both of those get a recount and flip red, Trump still loses. He'll lose by 2 electoral votes. If that makes sense. Trump's only path to victory is to reflip one of the 16 states. Like one of the 16 electoral vote states, which is Michigan and Georgia. If he doesn't flip one of those 2 states, he doesn't win the election. And that's also counting on the fact that he has to win Pennsylvania. If he loses Pennsylvania, he loses. Almost guaranteed. Because Biden won do I not have a flashlight? Because Biden won Michigan. So Biden's win in Michigan is putting pressure on Trump and why he's flipping out about Pennsylvania and trying to start lawsuits, because if he loses Pennsylvania, his chances go from 50-50 of winning the election to 0.
And this is a really interesting politics lesson. Like, genuinely, I'm intrigued by it.
Basically, like, so with what's been decided already, I'm gonna call Wisconsin in the middle, because Wisconsin is so close it's gonna trigger a recount regardless and can flip either way. So if you call it either side, with the win in Michigan, all Biden has to do is win one of the 4 remaining states. So that would be North Carolina, Georgia, Pennsylvania, or Wisconsin. And he wins outright. Trump has to win 4 of the swing states. And that's because of the difference between the bases. So each base this year won 2 huge states. So the Democrats got California and New York, while the Republicans got Texas and Florida. But the difference between Texas and California is about 17 electoral votes, right? So that pretty much makes up California is basically a Texas-sized state and Michigan in one state. That's how strong California is.
Yeah.
Right? So that means more battleground states always have to be won by Republicans. If that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense.
Which is why you always see like more Republicans leaning more towards campaigning in these battleground states. Like when you see Republicans go out on like the campaign trail, they are very, very much going to places like Pennsylvania, Georgia, Florida. And the problem also with most Republican votes is Florida's technically not a Republican state, it's a swing state. And when you have 30 votes or electoral votes that can just swing at any time to either side.
Congratulations, Blade.
Dangerous.
Good lad.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's part of why Trump was so dead set on winning Florida. And honestly, if a Democrat wins Florida, they landslide every time. Because winning in Florida as a Democrat means you have California, you have New York, and then you also have another New York. You're already at just round up, it's like 115 electoral votes with 3 states.
That's huge.
You win Florida.
Like, genuinely, that's huge.
Yeah, you're almost halfway to a presidency with 3 states. And if how it's going in Texas does continue, like Andy Hawk was saying earlier, there's a very strong chance in the future that Texas becomes blue. And if Texas becomes blue and stays blue, and California is blue, and New York stays blue, which it always will because it's got 3 major cities in it, the Republicans are going to be screwed. Because literally on election day, if that ever happens and it sticks for a bit, you're going to have so you get the 38 votes from Texas, 55 from California, and then you get the 29 from New York. You're already like halfway to being president with 3 states.
Yeah. And then that's crazy to think about.
Which would then make every single election for Republicans an uphill battle. And honestly, what would end up happening, and I'll tell you this straight up, what will end up happening, because our Supreme Court is very right-leaning, if it ever came down to Texas flipping on multiple elections in a row, I guarantee you it will be taken to the Supreme Court by Republicans, and there will be a new law passed, or there will be a decision from the Supreme Court that will change how the Electoral College works. That way it'll make it fair again. Because if the Democrats take over Texas, it would literally be impossible for Republicans to ever win an election.
No worries, Amber. Have a good night. I hope you sleep well.
Look how
thanks for stopping by. Do appreciate it.
An Obama type or a JFK type president come in and be your candidate if you were to win in that situation as Republicans.
But if that was the case,
swing huge states like that.
I mean, if that was the case, and like you say, Texas does turn blue and stays blue, then isn't that just indicative of the voting intention of the country? So how would it be then fair for the rules to change to suit the Republicans? Do you know what I mean?
That's why. Okay, so the reason that I said that is because basically our Supreme Court is very right-leaning.
Right. Okay.
Which means that they're very conservative. They're going to vote along party lines on most of their decisions, with the occasional change-up from the Chief Justice Roberts. He is more in the middle, but still leans to the right.
Right. Makes
And
sense.
because of Trump putting in his 3rd appointee to the Supreme Court, which is very, very frowned upon, because it was a situation in Obama's term where he could have put in a Supreme Court justice, and the Republicans fought him so hard and said, no, you're not going to get to put one in an election year. And then Trump went and did it anyway.
Well, that just sums Trump up, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then, anyway, like, it's very right-leaning until, and they're all relatively young because they all pretty much just got confirmed within the last 4 years, right? And so Trump appointed 3, so that's 3 conservatives plus the other 2 that were already on it, and then the Chief Justice, who leans to the right because that's the only one that Obama could get approved with a blessing from the Republicans, because he needed the Republicans' votes to confirm his Chief Justice nomination.
Right.
So he had to make a concession and pick a more conservative, like middle ground type justice instead of a far left liberal.
Sure.
Judge. So basically, the court is very, very conservative, and they will make a decision to adjust it in favor for their party. Because as much as our country likes to tout that they have bipartisanship parties, honestly, this thing's haunting. I don't even know what room it's in.
Me either.
I'm just gonna hide in this room and hope I don't get fucking spam locked through a wall again. I think we're getting pretty close to it because it's hunting. But I don't hear it. In terms of that decision, like you say, being very unfair, it's exactly the point. It's going to be very, very unfair, and it's going to change for the worse, and we're going to be back in the exact same situation with candidates fighting over stupid bullshit in the courts again.
Yeah.
And it'll never change until we get to a point where our system is better.
It's kind of just like a never-ending story, isn't it, really?
Oh shit, I actually found the bone on high school. It's in this, one of the rooms that you actually went in. How'd you not find that?
Because I'm not looking for the bone.
Are you finding, like, anything? I feel like I've looked in almost every...
No, mate, I'm not finding... I've got the temperature gauge, and I haven't found anything whatsoever. Oh, fuck me.
I think I know what this is.
What do you think it is?
Well, see, it's hunted twice already.
Yeah.
In about 30 seconds, so that's either an Oni or a Yuri. Honestly, I don't know what the changes would be, Blade. It would probably be either increase the smaller states' electoral output to compete with the big states, which would be unconstitutional because that would have to add seats to the House of Representatives and the Senate. They could, but it doesn't actually matter what the rule changes are, because by technicalities, the Supreme Court can pretty much overrule whatever the hell they want, because that's what the Supreme Court does, is rules on constitutional law. So basically anything in the Constitution that they disagree with, it could even change the number of electoral college or how the numbers in the electoral college are spread out.
Third hunt, I made it outside.
Like, for example, they could change the fact that the House of Representatives is no longer based on population and is based on split districts, is something they could do. And each state has a certain amount of districts, and that's all you get. And it would take away the voting power of California and Texas, where most of the population does reside, but it they'll cut it down so it's not as strong as an advantage in the electoral college, or they'll straight up abolish the electoral college and make some other janky voting system that will favor Republican victories. It doesn't really matter, because whatever the court decides is unconstitutional when it comes to our electoral standing is what they decide, and they can throw out amendments if they damn well please. That's why the court is always supposed to be 4 liberals, 4 conservatives, and 1 chief justice who stands in the middle.
But when will that ever happen?
Dude, this is a Yuri.
Why is our sanity?
Mine's at 7, yours is at 10.
Oh, okay.
And that's without even seeing the fucking thing.
I mean, I've got no evidence whatsoever.
I'm just gonna put Yuri. I haven't found it. I cannot literally find it, and I hate high school. High school's my least favorite map. That and, I guess, Asylum, because it's so big.
Yuri, there we go. Yuri.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at when you do... honestly, when you just go to the Bing homepage, it has an up-to-date one. It has Georgia, 60,000 difference. Him winning Michigan, or Biden winning Michigan. The gap is close to 210,000 in Pennsylvania with 88% reporting. Yeah, I don't know what bullshit rules that they could possibly come up with to... Dude, he's pissed off and we're not even in there, though. It could be an Oni. So it could be an Oni.
Okay.
Like, he's getting pissed for no reason. Alright, here. You know what? You pick Oni or Yuri, and I'll pick the other.
I'll go with an Oni.
Alright, I'll stick with Yuri.
Sweet. This is going to be my last game, by the way, buddy. I'm absolutely exhausted.
That's fine. I'm gonna switch over to ESO and I'm gonna run that thing that I was gonna run today anyway.
Perfect.
And chat about the election anyway.
I think I'll still be in your stream, like. I'm just going to stop streaming myself. I've really enjoyed the election chat, though. It's been pretty sweet to listen and learn.
It's nice when you can hear from an outside source who isn't going to be biased.
Yeah.
Wasn't only. Damn, I'm good.
Dude, that was incredible. What a guess.
I forgot we were on professional, and I probably would have given it away more. Because professional, your sanity drops very quickly anyway. But the fact that it was pissed off.
Yeah.
While we were sitting outside doing nothing, shows me that it was definitely Oni.
An Oni, yeah.
Yeah, Andrew, they could very much do voting based on districts like Nebraska and Maine, and then gerrymander the districts so that most of the population only gets a few electoral votes. And it would split up California into actually leaning some reds, and same with Texas. That's definitely one of the options.
Yeah, I need to be careful, Blade, with how loud I have people, otherwise I just get drowned out quite a lot. I have turned him up, so I hope that's a little bit better.
Bound technically by constitutional law and can't be removed from the office, except by death.
But for now, that's the end of my stream.
I know there's another way that they...
Hope you've all had fun. I mean, have had a good time. Thank you so much for joining me.
For not upholding the office, but I don't remember how.
We will chuck a raid in. And we will raid Celtic.
Like, at least off the top of my head.
Right, I've really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, guys. And until next time, I think I'll probably stream tomorrow. I'll just stream some more Far Cry tomorrow, which will be fun. But until then, guys, that is goodbye from me. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.
Okay, yeah, they can't get it impeached. Oh, thank you, Ledge, for the raid. Appreciate it, buddy. Oh, thanks for the follow, TIE Fighter.